To almost 500 people attending this this webinar. What a fantastic interest, and thank you for giving of your time. And I hope everyone's staying safe and keeping our social distancing. Things will start to relax on Friday, which is good, but of course a long way to go. All right, so I just want to talk a little bit about eWater's vision and where MUSICX fits into that that structure. So if we could have the next slide, please, Trudy. Yep, is our screen frozen?
I hope not. There we try again.
Okay, right, back up one. Okay, so as everyone is probably aware, we have three major tools in our suite. And eWater is driving towards an integrated river urban system analysis package based on our three platforms. So eWater Source is our main river systems and bulk water supply tool. We recently had a pre-release demo of Source version 5, and the big upgrade in Source version 5 is Urban Developer, which is an advanced integrated water cycle management tool for looking at recycling and reuse, which then modifies the demand from the river system. Today is all about music. And we can see there, MUSICX is bringing the traditional music into the same code base as Source and Urban Developer. The opportunities then come to connect the urban water cycle together so that we can simulate all aspects of water sensitive urban design connected with integrated water cycle management and its impact on the bulk water system and the river system. So a great advance and really something we are very proud of to bring to you. Next slide, Trudy. So within eWater's vision, MUSICX is a huge step forward. We are working towards the efficiency gains through having standard platforms across the industry, which was foreshadowed in the COAG National Hydrological Modelling Strategy of 2008 and was reconfirmed by the states and the Commonwealth in 2018. This is the integration of not just eWater tools, but we are also creating dynamic links to complementary industry standard models, such as, for example, ModFlow in the groundwater space. We have been working to build a pathway for Australia's international engagement through the technology lens. So publications like the Water Tools Guide from AWP and the work that we're doing with DFAT in the Mekong to embed Australia's water tools technology into our development partners. We have always encouraged research, and now the new platform brings that ability to create new research and new knowledge and bring it into the MUSICX environment for testing. These are models, so they're not perfect, and they need to evolve with the best available practical science. It is leading edge, not bleeding edge. So the idea is that we can have our sandbox models, we can test new things, and as they're adopted by industry as accepted, we can have them in music as standard plugins. We're also working on a cross-platform approach, so you can run on a range of platforms through our Run Manager tool, which has been in Source for a while, but will soon become part of the Music Suite, running in the cloud, either Windows or Linux cloud. We also have initiatives going on in model provenance to facilitate complex scenario and optimization analysis. This is essentially the checking in and checking out and ensuring that the results of runs are reproducible and there is model governance and provenance. And of course, backed up by our community of practice, professional support, and capacity building. That's it from me. Back to Trudy, who's going to run the meeting and will now give us a rundown of who is on next. Thank you, Trudy.
Thank you, Robert. So just a quick overview of today's program. We're going to start with our software products lead, Dr. Ashish Day, to explain the drivers behind MUSICX. That'll be followed by the part that I'm sure you've all been waiting for, and our urban hydrologist, Dr. Mukta Subkota, will give you a live demonstration of MUSICX. Our software development lead, Jeff Davis, will then show you some of the advanced technical features in MUSICX. Ashish will then describe next steps, licensing and training options for MUSICX, and finally, I will introduce you to our new online forum. Before I hand over to Ashish, just a couple of small housekeeping things for today. We are recording and we will send you a link to that recording, and it will be available on our website and our YouTube channel. We've got a pretty full agenda and we're not going to have time to do a question and answer session today. Feel free to use the question box on the panel and we will answer those questions in the online forum. And finally, you might have also noticed there's a handout attached to today's webinar. That's a nice, simple overview of MUSICX, and we think that should be pretty useful for you to have handy as a ready reckoner for today. So without any further ado, I will hand over to Ashish to describe why we've done this.
Good afternoon, all. It has been an exciting journey over the last 2 years while we have been working on MUSICX development. We are very pleased today that we have accomplished our stage on goal and formally releasing the product for the industry. Before we move into our product demo, I would like to provide you with a little background and history and our motivations. Music was originally developed 20 years ago by CRC for placement hydrology. Here in this slide, you can see the history of Music's major production release. Current production release is version 6.3. Music's main strength is that CRC's extensive research outcome and knowledge have been encapsulated into Music. Music has become a flagship water-sensitive urban design modeling tool for the industry. Music's another strength is its simplicity, easy to use graphical interface, and fit for purpose dedicated treatment nodes covering almost all stormwater treatment infrastructure. Music's simplified treatment algorithms are supported by extensive research, case studies, calibration, and validation. So, what are the challenges? While Music has these strengths, we also need to acknowledge that software platform based on which Music was developed is 20-year-old. It is written in very outdated code-based Fortran and Delphi. Many algorithms and parameters are hard-coded within the software. Number of pollutants are limited to 4 only. Total suspended solid, total nitrogen, total phosphorus, and cross pollutant. Only one rainfall runoff method and one pollutant export method are in build. Water sensitive urban design and urban water modeling goal are shifting. Industry's water modeling needs and objectives are expanding. Integration between small scale and large scale model are becoming more necessary than ever. We would need to have the ability to easily link all models in a smarter and better way. Catchment model, water resources and plumbing model, water sensitive urban design models, all should be able to interact each other. And we need the modeling platform that support this integration Our vision is bigger. Music has successfully passed through its 20-year journey, and we would like to see music going for another 20 years to come. However, we have realized that music's current software architecture would not be able to cope or accommodate the future modeling need. As such, we have decided to completely rewrite music in new and modern software platform, and we have now rewritten it in C#, same as our UOTA source. Music will bring following benefits for the industry. A new dimension in water modeling, opportunity to build fully integrated water management model, modeling of unlimited additional pollutant, such as hydrocarbon, heavy metal, and others. Flexible architecture enables easy adaptation of new science and knowledge. Function manager features allows easy inclusion of new algorithm. Improved graphical interface for easy data input, tabular input-output, group edit, and advanced graphing. User plugin can replace inbuilt algorithm for rainfall runoff, pollutant generation, treatment function, demand function, and more. So music development journey started back in July 2018. Here in this slide, you can see the timeline of MUSICX journey so far. We started with a day-long workshop in Canberra with our industry technical panel. We discussed and identified the limitations, opportunity, and scope. We agreed that our first task would be a reproduction of Music Classic in MUSICX. Our stage-on goal was to migrate all key functions of Music Classic into a modern software platform, and we have done it now. We also wanted to make sure that MUSICX model are producing same or identical result as Music Classic, so that the continuity is preserved. Over the last 6 months, we have done extensive testing, both internally and through our external beta tester. We are satisfied that MUSICX is reproducing Music Classic result and can be now confidently used in real-world modeling. Here is the list of our industry technical panel. Before I finish, I do extend our sincere thanks to all our beta testers and all members of our industry technical panel for their guidance and continuing support throughout this journey. Thank you all. Over to you, Trudy.
Thanks, Ashish. So I will now ask Mukta to give us a live demonstration.
Thank you, Trudy, and good afternoon all. Now I'm going to take you through MUSICX demonstration, which you must be waiting from long time. So starting now, I'm going to first of all show you how to build music model in MUSICX. For that, what you need to do is start creating a new scenario to build a model. So now I'm clicking on new scenario. As you can see here, once I click on new scenario, I can get two options of building a file. One is MUSICX MSF importer. Using this option, you can actually import your music classic files to MUSICX, which I'm going to show you with an example later on. Next one is MUSICX itself. Using this option, you can now build your model in MUSICX. You can give name for this particular scenario. Also, if you do have some description, you can provide it here. So once you select how you want to create your scenario, then click on OK. Once you click on OK, you can see here your node palette is active. So where you can see all your treatment nodes, source node, and then receiving node. And then your schematic editor, this screen here, is also active. So now you can also bring your climate data as in MUSICX configuration. So for that, what you can do is just click on configure, and then this gives you the option of bringing your climate data. There are three options for doing that. One is bringing with this custom climate data, where you can bring your rainfall and evapotranspiration data. You can have paleograph rainfall data. You can bring your CSV file, CMD file. So there are a lot of formats that actually it is compatible with. So you can bring your data here and then decide your time period. So you can also decide if you bring, like, for example, 100 years data, you have ability to choose only for maybe 10 years to run. So you can do that as well using this start date and end date option here. Next option is this MLB climate data. So what this does is, if you do have your music file from your Music Classic and you are importing that, you might have built physical template for that particular model as well. So this will help you to bring that file if you do have. Next one is included climate data. Music Classic used to offer you some inbuilt template files for major cities in Australia, and this is the same one here. You can choose any set of data that is available for especially major cities in Australia. So for this particular example, I am going to take Adelaide 6-hour data to run my model, and then clicking OK. Once I do that, now next thing is I am going to show you how to build a model. First of all, I need source node. To bring my source node to schematic editor, what I need to do is click on the require node, drag it, and then drop it here. So my source node is here. Now I can rename it by right clicking and clicking on rename. Also for editing, same thing, I can right click and now edit. I'm going to edit this by clicking the edit button. Now you can see here, this particular feature editor is, again, we have tried to put all the feature editor as simple as earlier, just like Music Classic. Now for this source node, I can choose my land use type, agricultural, forest, user defined. So we have all the nodes that Music Classic used to offer, that land use zoning is available in MUSICX as well. For this particular example, I'm going to use urban mixed. Also, I can change the pervious percentage of here, and then I can also change my rainfall runoff generation parameter here. So this is just exactly like MUSICX, classic music in MUSICX. So next thing is pollutant generation feature editor. So for this also, this is again just like Music Classic. So you do have for total nitrogen, total phosphorus, and total phosphorus, similar mean standard deviation for your base flow and stem flow. You can now also define which method you want to use for estimation, mean or stochastically generated. So that option is also available. And once you choose all your options and also you provide your data for the source node, you can now click OK, and that will save your parameter for this source node. So now I created a source node which now can generate runoff based on rainfall data and the parameter I have provided. Next thing, I want to treat this runoff using bioretention. So to bring bioretention, I'm again going to node palette, clicking on it, dragging it, and dropping it here. So you can see here I do have bioretention node. and right clicking and editing will give me the option to edit my bioretention properties. So now I can go and edit all the properties based on my requirement. So you can see here, this again exactly looks like Music Classic. Once I do that, I can click OK. That will save the properties here. So this runoff generated from source node is going to bioretention. Simply I'm joining it. Now again, I want to take this water from this bioretention to go through wetland. So for that, I'm bringing wetland here. Again, clicking in wetland, dragging and dropping it here. So I got my wetland node here. I'm joining it. And now I'm editing this wetland node. As you can see here, again, just like Music Classic, it has all the features. You can change this surface area, equivalent pipe diameter, so on, based on your need. And then you do have reuse options available as well, just like in classic music. So you can define your reuse as well here, as I did, advanced feature. And then also this SQ curve that Music Classic used to offer is there. So you can actually use custom storage discharge curve as well if you have data for that, for storage, pipe flow, and wear flow. For this particular example, I'm not going to use custom storage discharge curve, so just I'm not clicking on it. So once I put all the required parameters, I can click on OK, and it's saved now. Next, after this water is treated in wetland, now I want to discharge this water to my receiving water body. So this is my receiving node. Again, clicking, dragging and dropping it here, and then now I can join it. So you can see here, now I simply build a model just like in Music Classic, in MUSICX. So it's a very simple model building process. Once I do that, I can now run the model as I have already configured my climate data. It has another advantage compared to Music Classic. In Music Classic, you should be defining your meteorological data at the beginning. For MUSICX, you can define that at any time. For example, now maybe I want to change the data to Brisbane or Cairns. I can do that easily. So before run at any time, you can actually change your data. So once you have configured your MUSICX, now it's running time. So I'm going to run my model here. So you can see here, it's very quick. Model running process is very quick, just like in music. So I already run my model. Now I can see all the major results here. So all the major statistics such as mean annual load, node water balance, treatment trend effectiveness can be seen for all the nodes. So major statistic, once you run the model, just like in classic music, you can see here as well. So as you can see here, this particular example show you how to build a very simple model using MUSICX. Next, I want to show you that Music Classic has got pre and post development comparison. So how to do that in MUSICX? For doing that, I can do in this particular scenario as well, but I want to create another scenario to show you some other features. So in MUSICX, actually, you can copy scenarios as well. To copy scenario, you have to first of all highlight that particular scenario which you want to copy, and then there is copy scenario button. So once you click on that, Then now you come up with this screen. You can now put the scenario name. I want to give this scenario as comparison scenario, and then click on OK. So you can see here I have copied this scenario. This comparison scenario is same as scenario 1. I simply copy and paste it in another scenario here, which is pretty easy. So in this particular case, what I want to show you is how to compare between two nodes, just like pre and post development nodes. So for that, I'm going to create first of all one source node, which is for pre-development condition. So I want to edit this and say it used to be forest earlier, and then 100% pervious area, and click on OK. And then this water, this runoff used to join receiving water body. Also, I want to rename this node post dev with treatment, and then I can rename this particular nodes, just clicking, right clicking and renaming it. This is pre-dev. I can also copy this particular model just by selecting this, right clicking and copying, then where I want to paste in between here in the middle. So just like that. What I want to do now is I want to see if node treatment, how this is going to behave. So now I can edit this one. So this should be again urban mix, just as earlier, with 70% impervious area, and then I'm going to click on OK. So you can see here we can have actually as many as receiving node as well. In Music Classic you used to have only one, but here you can have as many as receiving node, no problem. I'm going to rename it post dev without treatment. Enter it. Now I want to also, before running the model, I need to configure the climate data. It already has configuration because I just copy scenario 1. Okay, let's change the data to Ken 6 hourly. Okay, and now I'm going to run this particular model. For that, I'm going and clicking on run. So it's already run. So you can see here again, it has got all this particular statistic treatment, 2015 node water balance, mean annual load. In addition to that, you can also have this analysis button where you can actually compare any node with any other nodes. So not only pre-development or post-development as in Music Classic, here you can actually compare your target node maybe pre-development and you want to compare with post-development without treatment or post-development with treatment. So you can actually easily compare using your MUSICX. So there is this extra feature that is available to you in MUSICX. So this is done. Now, we earlier talked about bringing music classic file to MUSICX. So this time I'm going to show you how to do that. For that, what we have to do is again create a new scenario, and instead of clicking on MUSICX, we have to now click on this option, MUSICX MSF importer. You can put the name of the scenario. Also, you can provide the description if it is needed, and then click on OK. Once you do that, you will come up with this screen here where you can now browse your relevant file. So this is example 1. I'm going to bring this MSF file into my Music Classic, this is a Music Classic model. So I'm going to bring this Music Classic model to MUSICX. So I'm going to simply open it. Okay. So you can see here now I bring my little bit big Music Classic model to MUSICX, and I'm going to now configure this scenario to run. So for this particular example, you might have your meteorological template data. As I explained earlier, you can bring that as well. For this particular case, I'm going to bring this Bendigo 2002 6-hour data, opening it. And as I explained earlier, you can also choose start date, end date as you require. So this is only 1 year data, so I'm just using full year data. Clicking OK. Now this model is ready to be run. So I'm again clicking on run button, and you can see you already have. So this model is quite big. So you have sedimentation basin. So for example, you are interested in sedimentation basin 1 node water balance, or you are interested in overall what is happening at the end about treatment run effectiveness. So quite good treatment run effectiveness for this particular model. So you can actually have your classic music model and very easily can bring into MUSICX. If you want to start working on MUSICX, this will allow you for that opportunity. From these overall things, I think you already have noticed few things. You can have as many as scenario here. Yeah. Also, you can copy scenarios very easily. You can also, within one scenario, you can have more than one model, and it's very easy for comparing different various options and so on. Next, I want to show you some advanced feature that MUSICX can offer. Again, for this one, I'm going to create one model and show you. For this one, like I'm again taking scenario 1 itself and copying. So copying scenario 1, keeping name as scenario 1 itself, and press OK. Once I do that, what I want to do is I want to see for this particular example, what if I, instead of using bioretention, I use swell. So I am first of all copying this particular model itself so that I don't have to build again. But I don't want bioretention, so simply I'm just right clicking and deleting it. And instead of bioretention, I'm going to use swell. As you can see here, now joining the model. Also, I want to now configure, I want to bring this MLB data from Sydney 1976 minute data and opening it, and then clicking on OK. Also, another thing is what you can do is instead of doing that, you can actually bring this 1970 to 1979 as well. So these sort of options are here, and then you can now, maybe if you don't want to use whole time series, you can just choose, okay, I just want to use 1 year from 1979 to 1979 itself, and then can click OK. So Once you do that, now you can, next thing for this particular model, what I want to show you is you can now see or visualize the required time series data you want to visualize. So this particular example, what I want to see is what happens to flow at this point, these 2 points. And then also I'm interested to see concentration. So I want to have a look at phosphorus concentration, nitrogen concentration at these 2 receiving nodes. So for that, what I can do is, first of all, let's click on this receiving node 8. So for this one, I want to see flow component. So I can just right click, record all, and then nitrogen, phosphorus, and similar thing I want to record for this one. So doing again the same thing. After recording the required data, whatever I want, and there is also one option, like if you go and click on scenario itself, you can actually record everything, all time series data for concentration, your flow and everything. But you have to remember, if you do that, that will take long time. Now I'm going to, I have already configured this model. So okay, so now I'm going to run this model and visualize this particular time series that I clicked. So we can see here now, I do have nitrogen concentration for, so this is for receiving node 4 and this is for receiving so you can see here, I can easily compare what are the nitrogen concentration changing those 2 options here. Also, you can actually compare the statistics. You have bivariate statistic, univariate statistic. You can even compare what is happening here, and you can compare the chart itself. Similarly, if you are interested in comparing the flow, for example, flow for this one and then again flow for this one. So within one single chart, actually you can now see how this is making a difference, and which is much easier for comparison. And then seeing the statistics again give you some extra options. You can also actually, if you do have, for example, some observed data, you can bring here using this loading data option here, and then you can even compare with that extra data within this MUSICX platform, and that gives you some added benefit here to compare your data. Further to that, just like earlier, if you are now seeing treatment run effectiveness, so I'm comparing between this receiving node, these 2, so you can see here differences, how like total suspended solid. So this has got this particular has got like much more powerful feature compared to this one, and then you can see like what option you have used and how actually which can be like much better option in this particular case. So this gives you this extra advantage of visualizing the results you want to have a look, as you can see here. Also, another feature which you can do is, if you have like this scenario 1 and scenario 2, which are different scenarios, you can also compare time series graph for flow and concentration loads or reuse whatever within different scenarios as well. I saw you for the time being with this to this particular model within one, but you can actually compare different scenarios. So at the end, what I want to say is, as you see from my demonstration, MUSICX has got all the features and simplicity that Music Classic used to offer, but it has got some advanced features. So that's the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mukta. There was lots of great questions coming through then. I'll be sure I'll answer what I can today, and the rest will answer via the community forum. I would now like to introduce Jeff Davis. Jeff is going to show us some of the advanced technical features of MUSICX. Let me change presenters though.
Thanks, Trudy. So I'm excited to show 3 of the advanced features that are now available in MUSICX with the new framework. I'll go through the Project Explorer, scenario input sets, and plugins today. So the Project Explorer is where you can copy and manage scenarios within your project. Important feature of the Project Explorer is to tailor the outputs you want to analyze for each scenario. As Mukta just showed, this can be done by selecting items in the tree and using the right-click record option. Another way of selecting outputs you want to analyze is through the Project Explorer's recorder sets. So recorder sets allow you to easily bulk select outputs to analyze in the results manager. You can set up recorder sets to easily switch what outputs you would like. In this example, I've got 2 different recorder sets set up, one called source and generic node water balance, which you can see on the right is going to record every generic node's node water balance and every source node's node water balance. I've also got a recorder set up called mass balance if I want to record all the time series data I need to do a mass balance analysis of my scenario. So you select these in the Run window in the Recorder Sets tab. And as you can see, you can select one or more of these recorder sets to record during your model run. In this case, we're not getting any of the outputs that we've selected in the current recorder tree, and I'm not recording all the outputs I need for a mass balance, but I am going to record the source and generic node water balance outputs. Scenario input sets. These allow you to explore scenarios with the same network structure while changing parameters and climate inputs. So in this example, instead of having multiple scenarios, I have different scenario input sets, and I change parameters of the base network structure. I have a pre-development, I have a post-development with wetland, and as child input sets, I have one with stormwater harvesting and one without stormwater harvesting. Then I have another scenario input set with post-development without a wetland. And you can change all of the parameters available to be edited through scenario input sets. This can be done through the user interface, or they can be loaded from a file. This gives us great flexibility for doing scenario modeling. And the last one of the biggest features is plugins. So plugins are a compiled.NET library which extend MUSICX to perform custom behavior. So plugins allow users to create modules which can be used to perform custom tasks. Plugins can be used to customize MUSICX, such as custom treatments, so tree pit, green roof, custom pollutant export algorithms, result transformations, data importing or exporting. So plugins really allow us to easily test new algorithms and new science within the platform before they become standard in the platform. And that's it for me for now for some of the advanced features.
Thanks, Jeff. So we've gone through the technical stuff. A couple of your questions have been around licensing, and that's what Ashish is going to run us through now.
Thank you, Trudy. And Mukta and Jeff, nice demonstration. Now we have seen the demo that model building process in MUSICX is simple, straightforward. You can also do a lot of extra things that's not available in Music Classic. You can bring your existing music models into MUSICX through MSF export import option. As we have planned, we kept all the data input dialog, tabular result layout, same as Music Classic. We tried our best to maintain the simplicity, especially in the front end of the interface. All the core component feature now in MUSICX, thoroughly tested, satisfactorily verified, and ready for commercial use. In addition, you can now write plugin for any custom node or any other algorithms. S-Test 2 will be available later in the year. Music link and other components such as lifecycle costing will be completed then. And of course, we'll accommodate the user's feedback over the next few months. S-Test 3, subject to availability of funding, will fulfill our ultimate goal. And our goal is to achieve following capabilities as listed in this slide in S-Test 3. Now I would like to talk briefly about licensing and training option. MUSICX new license will be available immediately for everybody. Existing music client with up-to-date SMA can get music license free of cost. I would request everyone, please bring your SMA up to date if you have not done so yet before 26th of June and get a free music license. You'll be able to maintain both license, but your SMA has to be up to date to get a free MUSICX license. We'll be soon offering Music Classic to MUSICX transitioning short training course for those who have recently completed Music Classic fundamental training course. A complete new MUSICX training course will be available later in few months. We'll continue to offer Music Classic V6 licenses, technical support, and also training courses as usual. Also, I would like to announce that 50% of the fee you pay to participate in any online training course will be credited back to you for any new license purchase in future within the next 12 months. And that's all from me at this moment. Thank you. Over to you, Trudy.
Thank you, Ashish. So as I mentioned earlier, we are launching today a new online forum. This will be a place for our diverse community, which is spread around the world and across Australia, to connect, to share their ideas, to problem solve and celebrate the achievements of our many different users. The easiest way to get involved in the forum is to log in via your eWater Toolkit login. So you can see on the screen here that you go to eWater Toolkit and you log in, and then you'll be taken to the front homepage and you'll see that there is a forum area. Click the link and you'll be taken directly to the forum. If you're not a member of Toolkit, then simply click here, and within a matter of moments you'll become a member and can access the forum and all the other goodies that are available in the Toolkit. This just gives you a look at what the forum looks like. We've created a number of starting topics, with one here around getting creative with MUSICX. This is where we'd love to have you get involved and share your ideas, tell us how you're using MUSICX. Let us know of any problems and we will help you. We've created this one, but as things get bigger, no doubt we'll have to create some more discussion threads. So that brings me to the end of today's webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate you giving up your time. Just a reminder, we did record the webinar, so you'll be able to go back and listen and, really delve into what Mukta was presenting particularly. That will be available on our website and also on our YouTube channel. Please, let's keep the discussion going. Join the online forum. Looking forward to answering your questions from today and hearing all your exciting thoughts about how you'll be using MUSICX. Finally, don't hesitate to get in touch if you've got any questions. Please email our support team or use user voice. We're here to help you with your licensing support and training needs. So once again, thank you for your time today. Please stay safe and we look forward to having you join us for another webinar soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.